You're looking at www.grDatabase.com. This is a online database that you create and manage through a web browser. It lets you manage your data, get it entered, and edit any part of your data. For example, you have a search criteria on the left and a table on the right. So if we wanted to search, you know she has 806 books in here. If you want to search for signed books, you click this signed, and then it searches and it comes back, shows there are 97 rows of signed books. And then if we want to narrow that down further to edition, we want all first editions, then we click on first edition. And you see it goes down to 65 rows. Then we can select either a single book or select a set of these books, or say select all and view items. And when we view items, you notice all 65 are here, and we can scroll through them. So we scroll through these books and it shows the detailed description. We'll go ahead and close this and unselect items. Down here you notice they're public items. When we clear the search fields, then we have 806 public items. You can also, when you're manipulating your data, you can only show private items. So there's 2309 private, and all items, it comes back and shows there's 3,115. So we show public items. Now there's several things you can do with this database. We can, if we just kind of start from the top, you can contact us, which is your find. You just enter your email and your message and send it. We have help on searching, which gives you help. And you also, most of the time when you hold your mouse over a heading, it will show you help. So there's plenty of tooltip type help. We have documentation, which will let you either see screenshots of your find or your database, and these are a little bit out of date. You also can see screencasts, which will show a series of screencasts, or set of screencasts, whichever ones that you want to see, which will go tell you anything about from searching to how to get help, to screencast trouble, to editing an item. Anyway, this screencast will show up here in a second. And then when you have this screencast, you can do the normal things: pause, restart, mute, etc. We close that window. You can create a new database. When you create a new database, I mean, this is a live database system that we're working on now, but we're going to go ahead and create a database called Fabric. The only thing we have to do is select Fabric. We're going to make this database public, and we're going to say create database. And now you can see, once this is done, we created a new empty database, Fabric. It doesn't have any records in it yet, but that's the way it is. Now, once you have a database, you can look at your account. Once you're logged in and have an account, you can look at your account, and these are the databases that exist in this account, and it tells you what the URL is. You get a URL that will point to that database. We have a program called grfind.com, which is an online marketplace, and if you want your database to be part of that online marketplace, then you can specify it in this marketplace button. Down here at the bottom, whenever you want to check your database integrity, you can do that, and it will check, and it will tell you certain information about your database and show you that it's good. You have database properties for whichever database you're on, whichever tab is selected, and the database properties tells you your database name, a contact email for each database, whether to make the database public or not, whether to password protect it, and it gives you a link that you can use. You can either embed in your own page, or you can use standalone in a browser URL window to go to that database. So you can change this at any time, and then you save changes for your database properties. You have search box fields, which you can specify. These search box fields on the left, if you want different search box criteria over here, you can take them and move over to the search. So if I wanted to be able to search on category, then I highlight that, move it over to the right, and then say save changes. And notice that now you have a category over here. The same thing applies to the table fields. On the table fields, when we have, if we want the field to show on the top, we can put, let's just say we want the status to show, then we put that over there, and again say we can move that up to, we want it to show pretty close to the start. Again, we say save changes, And now when you do that, you look up here and now there's the status field. The same thing for view fields and export fields. You can export and import records anytime you want to. If you've looked at something, we'll go back to a database that's actually got some fields. If you've looked at something and you go to the view history, then it will bring up a box over here on the right that shows you where you've been, so that if you've been to something an hour ago, you can come back to it. Just click on that and it'll bring back that book where you were at. When you minimize a window, it's not the same as putting it in the history or closing it. When you minimize it, you after you look at an item, then you minimize it and it goes down here, and this is a list of your minimized books. And again, when you click on that, it will bring that back up. So that's how you kind of get around. We made this fabric database a few minutes ago. Now we're going to remove this database. So it will let you remove a database after you create it. Remove fabric now, and it was removed and it's gone. We also have a kitchen database that we're not really using. It was used for a demo, and we're going to say remove that database and remove kitchen now. So these other databases have data in it. Here's your books. The music database has music information. So here's an Eric Clapton CD. We click on it and it gives you the detailed information. When you see something that or the user sees something in your database, they want to contact you, then you'll hit this contact button and it will allow them to send an email about that item. And also, if you want to send this URL to a friend because you say, hey, he likes Eric Clapton, you put their email address in. And say, send now. And what that did was sent this link to that email address. And when you click on this link, it will send you to this item. So when they get the email address, they'll get this link. They click on it, and this is what they'll see. They'll have the database come up, the music database, and it will come up with that item that you sent them, so that they'll see the exact thing that you saw. So we'll close this whole thing because that was a window it just opened. We'll close that link. And what else we can do? We can edit an item. If we want to edit this Eric Clapton book, then we open the edit screen. And now edit fields are grouped into edit groups. And you can change these groups. So what we have here is we have the core group open, but we can also open the more group, which is just some extra fields. The more group has these fields, but if you don't like this UPC over here in the core group, you can grab it and move it over here to the more group. And also you can add fields. I could say I need a field to keep up with the color of it. So you take that field and add it, and it adds it to that. And again, if you don't want that color in this box, you pull it over here to this box. And the other thing is, if you don't even have a group that you like, then you can add a group. And let's add a new group. We'll just call it new group. And you see up here at the top, it created a new group. So now we can open this new group, and this color that we just made, we said that really should have went in this new group. So you pull it over to that new group. So you take your fields and you move them into whichever edit groups that you want, and that lets you edit records and show them and display them and how you want to work. So you can have whichever groups that you want open. After you're finished editing, then you say save, and then it will save the record. So when your stuff's online, you can, any field that you edit, any record that you edit, you change immediately online. All of this is live and it's online. There's no waiting. Okay, the other things that you have a import, where it will allow you to, system will allow you to go and load a CSV file, and the CSV file at the moment can be 4,000 lines long. When you add it, it will upload it to the server, and then allow you to import the whole thing and create a database fairly quickly. We have a 5-minute video around that will show you. I believe it will be in the documentation if you want to see a complete database made in under 5 minutes and online. We also have an export function that will allow you to take any of these records and export them. So you can export all fields, you can export all records, or you can select which record you want to export and export. You can also define which fields you want to be exported. And the other thing that we can do, you have to have more than one record selected, but you can batch edit. So You can batch edit every record in your database all at one time if you want. You select which records you want to batch edit, and then you select something over here. These are the fields. So it's like the purchase place. Let's say you want to replace whatever value is in purchase place with a new value, New Mexico, and then when you preview changes, and it shows you what's going to be changed, and then you say write these changes to this now. So there's no limit on batch editing. You can batch edit every record at the same time. So basically, the gist is that you can create online databases, you manage them and create them through a web browser interface. There's never anything on your disk drive, and you have complete control and access to it. You can change every field and every record, and you can take the link that's produced, you can embed it into your own web page, or you can use that link on the URL line in a browser to go to that database. So we'll clear this history because we don't really need it. We'll close that history bar. We'll open this window, so then we'll close it back again. And so here's where we started on books. And finally, we'll just see if there's any authors called Robert Ather. And when we do, we see there's one book by that author. So it's easy to search, it's easy to use, it's easy to maintain, and it's online, and it's interactive, and it's fun. Thanks for looking, and I hope you try it out. Thanks a lot. Bye.